Hey guys, what is up? Hope you're having a fantastic day. So in today's video, I'm going to be teaching you how to find your perfect sensitivity. Now I realize I have not posted much ranked gameplay recently, and that's what I normally like to do, but whenever I try to find a ranked match in general, the time is just crazy. The waiting queue is almost 360 seconds plus, and whenever I get into a game, something like this happens. What is going on? Game, what? So hopefully they'll fix all of this in the next update, but today I'll be explaining how to find your sensitivity. Now I actually did this for myself. Yesterday I realized that my sensitivity might not be optimal for me, so I went in, I did this method, and I actually fixed my sensitivity. So before I show you exactly what I did, I need to explain a couple settings that greatly influence your sensitivity and how fast you're going to be turning and flicking onto enemies. So fixed speed, distance excel, and speed excel are super important, and not many people really understand what they do. So what fixed speed does is it pretty much keeps your sensitivity the same no matter how fast you move your finger across the screen or how far you drag it across the screen. Distance excel increases your sensitivity depending on how far your finger is dragged across the screen. For example, if I start right here and end all the way out here, my sensitivity is going to increase a lot, but if I start right here and end only like right here, my sensitivity is barely going to increase. And speed excel depends on how fast you move your finger across the screen. So the faster you move your finger, the more your sensitivity is going to increase. So as you can probably guess, speed excel is really good for hitting flicks. Fixed speed is just to maintain your consistency, and not many people honestly use distance excel. I would not recommend you personally using it, and we're not even going to look at it in today's video. We're mainly going to be focusing on speed excel and fixed speed. So speed excel is super important. It lets you hit nasty flicks, and it's super useful if you're a sniper or an SMG player. Now obviously you can guess why you want this as a sniper. Just in case someone peeks from an angle that you're not already zoomed in on, you can flick to them and hit a nasty shot. And I know a lot of pro snipers actually use speed excel. Little B, if you guys know who he is, he's a really good sniper. He just switched to this setting and he said it made him so much better, so I would recommend trying this out. Now I also said SMG players like to use this setting, and you probably noticed I've been using this setting since I started the game, and I am an SMG player. And the reason for this is because most of your gunfights are going to be at close range, and the closer the enemies are to you, the faster they're going to be moving across your screen. Someone slides across your screen, you want to be able to flick onto them and be able to track them at close range very easily. So that's why speed excel is really good on SMGs. So moving on to fixed speed. Fixed speed is honestly really good for an assault rifle player who takes medium and long range gunfights, and assault rifles are the meta right now. So if you're one of those players, I would recommend using fixed speed. It just lets you track people a lot easier. So now that we know what those do, we're going to talk about acceleration value. So this is this 100 or whatever right here. Whenever you move it up and down, that's going to be what is influencing your speed excel, distance excel, and fixed speed. So the higher it is, the faster you're going to flick, and the lower it is, the slower your sensitivity is going to feel. So now we're going to be moving on to how your sensitivities should be set up, and a lot of people don't realize how important this is. So standard sensitivity is pretty much when you're not zoomed in and you're just walking around and moving. Now don't copy my sensitivities exactly, because obviously I'm on a different device than you, and my sensitivity is going to feel very different to you depending on how large your screen is and what you're playing on. ADS sensitivity is pretty much your aim down sight sensitivity. So what that actually means is just when you're zoomed in, that's what your sensitivity is going to be like. Tactical scope is just like your ACOG sensitivity. Sniper scope obviously is your sniper sensitivity when you're zoomed in. And real quick, I forgot to explain the difference between camera and firing sensitivity. So camera sensitivity is when you're moving around, not firing, and firing is just whenever you're shooting, that's what your sensitivity is going to turn into. I don't really understand why there's two different settings for that. I just feel like they should be the same. As you can see, my sensitivities are both the same for each of them. I don't really see why they split it into two sections here, but I guess if people want more customization. Also, I have my standard sensitivity the same as my tactical scope because the scopes are very similar and I don't really feel like I need to change them. And my ADS, I have it a little bit faster than my standard because a lot of the time when you're ADSing, the target's going to appear closer to you. That's why you want your sensitivity to be a little bit increased, because they're going to be moving faster across your screen. And then of course I have my sniper scope even lower than that, because most of the time when you zoom in with a sniper, they're going to appear really close to you. So that's why you want your sniper scope to be a little bit lower sensitivity. All right guys, so now I'm going to explain to you how to find your sensitivity. So we're actually going to be playing 3 Nuketown matches, and before you get into the match, kind of determine what you want to fix about your sensitivity. So pick your most used weapon, and for me, honestly, I don't really have one because I use so many different weapons in my videos, but I think today I'm just going to be trying to use the AKS or the RUS. So pick your most commonly used weapon and look at your settings and determine, what do I want to change? What has been feeling off recently? So personally for me, I already changed my sensitivity, but my Excel was feeling way too high. I just felt like some days I was super on point, and then other days it just felt like I could not control it and it was jittering a lot, and I realized my acceleration was just way too high for my muscle memory just to get used to it. So some days I was really on point, I would hit all my shots, and then other days I was a little bit more shaky, so I turned down my Excel a bit. Another thing that you could do is, for example, if you're an SMG player and your sensitivity is not that high and you notice a lot of the times you're losing close range gunfights, maybe turn it up a bit. Don't turn it up too far because then you could really hurt your sensitivity, but turn it up a bit gradually at a time. So start off by turning up about 10 or 20, and that should be about good, and then we're actually going to hop into a match. Or if you're like an AR player, maybe your sensitivity is too high, you're not hitting all your shots at range, so maybe try fixed speed and turn your sensitivity down a little bit. So now what I personally like to do is I like to go into a public match. Public matches actually help you improve your aim a lot, even though you might think ranked is better for that. But choose domination and then go over to map and then go to Nuketown. I think this is just the best map for this because Nuketown is just so fast paced and there's always enemies that are going to be coming at you. So once you get into the game, remember to choose the weapon that you want to be doing this with. So now that you're in the game, just go around, really focus on getting kills and hitting as many shots as you possibly can. And once you do that, around half, you should have a good idea of what you might want to adjust with your sensitivity. So at halftime, after you're done getting a bunch of kills, you should either know that maybe you want to adjust it, turn it down a little bit, or maybe you even want to turn it up a bit. So now that it's halftime, I either want to switch my acceleration value or I want to switch these values down here, all depending on what you actually noticed. At the end of the game, you want to do the exact same thing and then go hop into another Nuketown match, and I would say do this for about 3 games until you find a sensitivity that feels really solid for you and you think you have fixed all of your issues. You can do it even more than that if you want to, but I think 3 is all that's really necessary. Now, of course, your sensitivity is not going to feel perfect right away when you do this. That's why you have to play with it for a couple days just to get your muscle memory used to it, because if you switch off right away, you're never going to find a good sensitivity for you. I would recommend playing for at least 3 to 4 days with it, and if you still don't like it, then maybe try to switch it again. Remember when you're playing those matches to use the weapon that you use the most, because that is going to really help find your perfect sensitivity. No method of looking back and forth or seeing if you can 360 or something is really going to help you. It all depends on your play style, where you take your gunfights, and a lot more. So of course, if you guys enjoyed this video, remember to drop a like, subscribe here if you're new, and I'll see you guys next time.